my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me.
Hey everybody. Alright, well, we decided to do another episode for assembly, simply because I can't finish my wiring harness yet, because I thought I had the correct set of crimps, because I'm going to use DT style connectors in this build, and I thought I had the right crimps, but I did not, so I had to order them. So I'm waiting for them to come in. So anyways, we'll come back up and we're going to get started with some of the things that I've done so far and what I'm going to be doing here. All right, the Koso speedometer, it comes with their sensor mount, but it will not work on these rotors because it requires steel in order to function. It's basically a magnetic switch and it's reading across steel. Well, on these particular rotors, these are either stainless or aluminum, the rivets, and the hub itself is aluminum, so you can't read through the spokes and you can't read with the rivets because they're non-magnetic. And I don't want to use the spaces in the disc because of this potential hole where this rivet goes through. So I had to build a mount that comes in and reads off of these bolts. So I made a nice little mount, powder coated it black. It's got a set screw in it, so it still allows me to adjust the depth that I need to do, and I can swing it on the bolt, but came out pretty nice. So I fabricated that out of steel, and then able to wrap tie all my wires going up through here. My decorative adjusters came in, so I got those mounted on. I got the throttle assembly mounted on, and I bought this cable assembly because I thought it would work, but it did not. I mean, it would work, but the bend was too harsh on those cables, so I ended up, and the nice thing is with the stock is it's 4 independent cables. So I basically had enough cable I could build the complete assembly if I wanted to and reuse the tubes here, but most of the time your failures is up here, not down here. So these cables still looked good all the way through, but I replaced them. I built the set that comes from the handlebar assembly here, and goes down to this, which was easy to build by cutting the stock ones, the new ones up. This is the Emgo throttle assembly, and I don't really like it. I think I'm gonna I've always used Motion Plus. I ended up buying this one because it came with the grip and the cables. It was the right size, but this thing's the tube is too flimsy, so you get drag on the actual handlebar, and I've never had that. I mean, you can literally squish the tube before I put the grip on. I wanted to see if the grip would make it better, but I ain't gonna trust it. I mean, it gets to a point and you see there's a little stick to it, and I don't like that. So I'm probably gonna order a Motion Plus push-pull assembly like I've always used and chuck that up. Maybe it'll work on a different set of handlebars, because I'm not sanding the handlebars down to make that work. So I'll hold on to it for a future project possibly. So I got the throttle cables are in. Everything's just temporary right now. I have my choke cable that came in, so I just got to make the end that'll lock in here. I usually make those myself when I make my own cables, and then some kind of bracket depending on where I want to mount it. I'm not sure yet, but we'll make that up and we'll come back to this and I'll show you what I've done. So that's it. That's it. All right, everybody, I went ahead and I made a bar end mount. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Basically, you just got a plug that expands the outer sleeve section. So I made a piece that the cable end because I got the nut. There's a nut that goes on it, and it'll just entrap it into here, and then it'll go into my handlebars like so. So I'll get that all mounted up, and then we'll come back and look at it. All right, I got the new end made. I machined my own. When I cut the cable down, I machined a new ferrule. I make it out of brass, counterbore, so it'll slide up in there, and then a small hole for the cable to come through. And then when I cut the lead off, I actually make my own, because I have a cross slide drilling attachment that I made to fit on my lathe. And then this is just a chunk of brass that I center drill, a cross plane drill into it, and then shove the cable through it, and I fray it out and then solder it. You can do this when you got a brand new cable. If you got an old cable and it's got oil and grease on it, it's too hard to solder, but this is a brand new cable, so it solders really easy. So it's all done, ready to install. So I'll get this mounted and we'll come back. All right, it's all done. It's all mounted. See, you got nice placement. The cable comes through, comes up, and goes into the new mount that's in the bar end, and voila. All right, so choke's done. My throttle cables are done, and then now I can stop on the assembly episodes and work on finishing the wiring harness for the wiring video series, and then we'll come back to this because my crimps came in today, so I can proceed on with finishing the wire harness. So that's it for this right now, and we'll come back to this the assembly of the bike in later episodes after I finish the wiring harness. That's it. See you guys.